Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. It was delightful in Wichita, very, very high humidity, and I think we got close to 2 inches of rain between Friday night and Sunday afternoon, so it's really, really green around here, and if you're raising sorghum or maize or soybeans or corn, alfalfa, picked a pretty good year to grow it. So life for agricultural producers is pretty darn good here in the south central plains once we got past wheat, which was not a very good crop. I don't know about how you all feel, but man, the conditions in the Middle East are really, really, really deteriorating rapidly. Malaki, of course, doesn't want to go. I imagine he hasn't amassed enough of a fortune yet as head of the Iraq government. But if you look at what ISIS is doing right now, Syria through northern Iraq, the United States has finally said they're going to give munitions to the Kurds. I mean, somebody's got to step up and fight the Kurds. With Malaki, fight ISIS. With Malaki still as the head of the government in Iraq, that looks doubtful or shaky at best. But this ISIS situation, this really could be the trigger of a complete all-out war in the Middle East. If they go from Syria down to Jordan, which already has hundreds of thousands of refugees, you've got Lebanon right here, you got ISIS in Syria, you have Jordan right here. If you're Israel, I mean, you talk about feeling threatened, and Israel has the weapons to defend itself, and they would have to under that situation. And I'm not talking about 155 millimeter or 500-pound bombs or 2,000-pound bombs. I'm talking about atomic weaponry. You've got Iran over here stoking the fires. You've got the Taliban on the march in Afghanistan. This is not a comfortable time right now. I mean, things can get out of hand in a hurry. And it's because of this that while I think we can sell today in the treasuries, I don't think the bond will fall out of the market. Got a low volume number down here at 17.5. We've got our tractor at 24.5. We've got this volume down in the 9 to 13 area. So I think the first little band of support is going to be 17 to 21, and that'll be our buy one. And the 9 to 13 will be buy 2. Now you ask yourself, what could cause the equity markets to rally? And I mean, they rallied around the globe. They're up strongly in Asia. They're up strongly in Europe. And we've recovered 8 points in the E-mini. And it's Putin at the end of the week on Friday said he wants tensions to ease in the Ukraine. The Ukraine, after Europe screamed bloody murder, said they would not threaten the gas supplies. And the Ukraine really can't. They need that gas flowing through the Ukraine because that's how their dictator gets rich and wealthy and is able to amass fortunes. So tensions in the Ukraine and Russia, at least on paper, have lessened. And stock markets, the news headline algos took that, and I mean, we're looking at 1% plus gains everywhere. So in spite of the underlying fundamental news, which continues to be mixed at best, I think Russian sanctions on the West will hurt Germany's economy. Germany is the largest investor in Russia from the EU, and it's the largest EU market is for German goods in Russia. So I'm just, right now, everything equity-wise looks mixed at best, and if you look at what's going on, people shooting at each other and the chances for that to escalate and get worse, it does, I mean, those aren't the conditions that break the financials. So I think we will sell. I think we'll go a little bit lower. I've circled the 17 to 21 area as a buy zone. Obviously, we've got to take out the overnight session low to get there. On the sell side, pretty aggressive, but it's for the first rotation, 27 to 31, and then 3 to 7 for sell 2. And I think the short side looks pretty good right off the bat. I don't think the bottom, like I said, will fall out of the market just because of the tensions that we face around the globe. The other thing that's a little bit disconcerting is that life in the United States goes on with very, very little concern expressed about what's going on with ISIS in Iraq and other places. I'm really happy that the administration finally, with a bit of reluctance, agreed to give the Kurds the weaponry they need to defend themselves. And isn't it ironic? Kurdistan, an Islamic nation, is fighting to protect Christians with a lot more effort and energy than anything else in the West is. So the ironies in this day and age continue to really, really just stand out. I mean, you couldn't write a script any better than this. If you're in fiction, you wouldn't get it past your editors. Great idea, but could you make it a little more realistic? Got a B shape in the 30-year. There is more volatility. We've got volume in this area. And structurally, we have volume in the 21, 22 areas. So right now, we're trading above the buck. I think we can go a little lower, so let's make it 25 to 29. That might be a stretch, but if our equities rally this morning in the day session, that could very easily happen. And it is Monday, so the trade may be very, very slow to develop. Buy 2 will be 17 to 21. On the sell side, 7 to 11, it is aggressive, no doubt. But the market is in a sell mode right now, to my eye. And I think we need to be a little aggressive on the short side to get in this morning and see if the market can trade lower. The other place to buy would be the 29 to 01 area. We'll circle 01 as a possibility, leaning against the buck. But I think we got a shot at trading a little bit lower. This, if you want to see evil on display, and a lot of people forget their history, but the Middle East was solidly in German hands because of what they were doing to the Jews. And the Nazis had no compunction, no reservations about killing children under genocide. And here we have this ISIS group up here crucifying and beheading and killing children in Mosul. I mean, the parallels are about what was going back on in the 30s are eerie, in my opinion. And talk about evil unleashed. I mean, you can't hide from it. It's just there. It's in your face. And we don't hear a hell of a lot of talk out of the Western press about those atrocities. But yet, you know, they'll jump on the bandwagon about these poor children from Central and South America who are being given the gold carpet treatment once they get into the United States. I mean, a lot of the stuff just doesn't make sense outside of political, it's to one's political advantage or not. And our press is notably silent about this compared to some of the things they get outraged over. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? So here is gold. I think for the same reason it's going to be really hard to break the financials. It's going to be hard to break gold. We like the 5 to 7 area on the buy zone, like the buck even better. I just don't think that conditions around the globe are quiet enough to make people worry about who's going to be controlling them in a not so distant future. So we'll make 13 to 15, sell 1. think we can trade a little bit lower, but again, I don't think the bottom's going to fall out of the market. And then we'll make the 18 to 20 area sell too. I mean, I just can't see anybody around the globe being really comfortable with what's going on economically or with their governments, with all this turmoil that seems to be escalating going on around them. I mean, we had a civilian airplane shot down. Where's the world's outcry about those 293 people? I mean, that's gone from the press. Nobody talks about. Yet you have 293 people gone. No one's really held accountable for it. Nobody's really squawking. They can't really squawk too loudly against Russia because of the natural gas. And who put them in that position? They put themselves in that position. The United States isn't raising hell about that. It was some crazy Russian-backed rebel that did that. They made a mistake. Tell that to the people that augured into the ground. I mean, there's just. Again, my point is that it's pretty hard to become a wholesale seller of financials in gold in that situation. The euro, we like the sell side of the euro. When we left on Friday, we had sells in the euro 25 to 35, did not get close to it, did not get into that tail. Europe opened and sold. So we got a seller basically 34 to 34.10, and that'll probably hold today. I can't see things getting really changing all that much. For the European economy, there are a couple articles out about how Germany's economy will suffer because of the Russian sanctions. And like I said, Germany is the biggest investor in Russia. Part of that came from the huge investment they made in Eastern Europe, East Germany, when it was all said and done, and all the aid that they sent Russia's way to help stabilize that situation. So we are looking at the economic deterioration, further economic deterioration in the EU because of these Russian sanctions. Now, foodstuff has a limited shelf life, so the food will be sold, but probably at a loss if conditions continue to worsen with Russia. I went to the store this weekend. I'm always amazed at how fast food prices rise. And if anybody doesn't think there's inflation in food costs, you haven't been to the store. You've been sending somebody else in your place. But, I mean, I've seen 30 to 40% increases in some of the foodstuffs I buy just this summer. And it's there, and if you are really, really pressed budget-wise, you're not eating up, you're eating down. Okay, looking at crude. Crude's saying the oil supply situation is stable. Supposedly Iraq is exporting 3.2 million barrels a day. Texas is producing 3 million barrels per day right now. That puts Texas on league with some of the major oil producers around the world. I think they're 6th or 7th in the world on production. And so one of the things that we see United States-wise is this increased production from the United States. We're back at levels that we were at 30 years ago in oil production, and what that does is less need to get our supplies from the Middle East. More oil on the market, If there weren't war and fighting around the globe, oil prices would be lower than they are right now. So you can see we really have a seller at 98.50. We are rejecting prices in this 98 to 98 and a quarter. It's a very aggressive sell, but sell one is 98 to a quarter, and obviously we'd like to do number 2 better. On the buy side, we've rejected prices below 97.50, so we'll make 97 and a quarter, 97.50 buy one. We're going to look for a trading range. Don't think we'll break the market because of the potential for increased fighting. Many spots around the globe. I was looking at the countries that are actually shooting at each other. The only one that does not have a Muslim component is Ukraine and Russia. And the rest of them are all in Muslim countries. And it's just, these people just cannot keep their hands off the trigger. And in the West, we've helped make it worse. You're dealing with a people where, because it's religious-based, where some things are just not negotiable. They will talk peace, they will talk the rest of it, but when you get right down to it, it's not there. And they don't change their mind, and they can't be made to change their mind. Okay, the thing that kicked off the buying around the globe was Putin saying we want the tensions between the Ukraine and Russia to ease. And we have rallied. We have noted this high right here in the 38 area. There's a high at 42. 33 was an area that could hold. So we're at resistance right now. And so what has changed around the globe? Does anybody think that peace is going to break out in the Ukraine between the Russian rebels and the Ukrainian government? Probably not. Can this market rally? Yes, it can, and it has. I mean, looking at our close on Friday, we're 8 points, well, we're more than that. We're 10 points up. I think we went out at 23, and we went at 1924, so we're 8 points off Friday. So we've got really good resistance up here, and stops above 35 are there. So we're going to make a little bit higher, 35 plus or minus. Sell one. It's aggressive. The market's moving up. We probably don't have to get in a hurry. Then 39 to 41 for sell two. No news to drive today's trading. It's just going to be stops above the obvious. 35, I'd like to let them get stops above this 38 over here. Naturally, cheap Charlie. On the buy side at 32.75, they do make you pay up. So 30 plus or minus will be buy one. I really am not enamored with the long side of the market, but that's going to be our first buy zone. And then we're going to have 25, 27 for buy two. Leaning against that round number at 25. So that's it for a pre-morning briefing. We'll get started.